contact people, I can have a call with people. So my office is flexible. That computing power, I saw it in action just now. When there was this bunch of students, all of you coming up here and receiving their awards, there were as many people coming with a fancy device and clicking pictures. I'm sure by now many of those pictures are on Facebook. Many of those pictures are being liked by your colleagues and your friends and family. And within this short 15 minutes, probably, we used enough computing power in this room to launch a spaceship. And we also had enough storage created to basically fill some zettabytes of data, because each picture is a few megabytes and thousands of them got taken as we were just observing. The second thing that you look at is what I'm talking about, big data, the explosion of data. Without even realizing, we create data all the time. We are creating data as we are sitting here, writing small things on Facebook, social networking, clicking pictures. It's all getting stored somewhere, and there's a lot of it happening. And it needs to be managed, it needs to be sorted, organized. And a lot of work happens around big data and all the analytics, all the intelligence that comes with it. Imagine a bank which does zillions of transactions in a single day, but you want intelligence out of it. Simple example, I want to know all my bank account holders who hold a balance above a certain limit, so that I can offer them a service or a product or something that is required. That is what causes the big data and the intelligence. The big term that we hear about is cloud computing, and cloud computing is something which is changing the way we work. Mobility, virtualization, keeping all our computing technology somewhere where it's accessible 24 hours and accessible across any kind of connectivity, even a mobile phone. In very simple definition, cloud computing is nothing but the power of IT with the paying structure or the billing structure of telephones or telecom. So you pay as you use. So if you don't make a lot of calls, your phone bills are low. If you make a lot of calls, your phone bills are high. The same thing is now gotten applied to computing. More computing power, more storage power, more of IT that you consume gives you a different billing, or more you have to invest. If you don't use it that much, you don't have to invest. So cloud computing has brought a huge amount of elasticity. So you can plan for your IT, not dependent on what you have as infrastructure. And that is the biggest gain that cloud computing is giving. So you can have a very terrific marketing campaign tomorrow, and you can have 1 million people hit your website. You don't have to worry whether you had the servers or you had the storage or you had the computing power, because it's on the cloud. And after 10 days of that marketing campaign, if everything shrinks down to what it used to be in everyday business, you don't worry about it either, because you're not paying for that expanded infrastructure. So that's, in very simple terms, cloud computing. The next one is displays. I remember attending a session many years back when the Intel chairman had come down to India for what they used to do as a forum. And he said that my goal is not number of PCs. My goal is that the world will have 3 billion displays by a certain year. And some people have started measuring things differently. It is not about how many computing devices are there, it's how many consumption devices are there. You are always interacting with the screen. And therefore perceptive displays are an important thing, because you are using computing power for consumption. And therefore, the more number of devices and displays increase, that's becoming a mega trend which is happening. Then of course there is connectivity. We are all connected 24 hours. None of us can survive without a Facebook or a WhatsApp or a WeChat or whatever else, because we need that connection. And therefore data services, therefore interesting things on small form factors. And then of course you have how to manage your life. If we move on, and I was given a piece of paper saying when you want the slides to move, they will. So if you look at the major trends and what Microsoft is doing, a very simple way of depicting that Microsoft is typically everywhere and investing very strongly in how the world is moving. And therefore, we have a range of products and we have a range of services which address each one of those mega trends and the verticals, so that it can be put to active use. If you move on, you can look at that probably last year was the biggest year in the launch, or in terms of product launches, in the history of Microsoft. And as you can see, that there's probably 50 items out there on the slide. which talk to you about how deep and wide Microsoft technology is, whether it's gaming, whether it is office productivity, whether it's developing or developer tools, or whether it's server infrastructure, and all of it changing because of the mega trends coming in. If you move on to the next slide, I wanted to talk about very specific things which impact people in this room. According to us, these three things are very important. It's a new day. Microsoft has changed, the world has changed. It's also a new opportunity, because with change comes opportunity. And then the beginning of a new era. And I wanted to quote some examples from how we see these things happening in the world. So if you click again on the slide, if you move the slide up, please. I wanted to just talk about a couple of these examples. Governments are building futuristic cities. So Barcelona is one example. You can read about this on the internet. A modern city means a connected city, means a secure city, means citizen services round the clock, means that you have information and data when you want, as you want, how you want, on a device of your choice. Which means living in general is going to change. I'm sure we've heard about articles in India where 50 new towns or 100 new towns will be developed into modern cities. But the point is, how will those cities function? They can have all the infrastructure, they can have cloud computing, they can have all the necessary building blocks which make that happen. But it will run only and only successfully if there is talent behind it who makes it to use or puts it to work. So you as youngsters should realize the new day, the new era, the new opportunity, and understand that you've taken a very big and a very important step in your life today when you have completed your first certification, when you have stepped into the world of technology and you are with us. But this is only the beginning, because this will prepare you for the life that we are going to live 20 years down or 30 years down on this planet. So whether it's smart cities, whether it is mobile applications, whether it is the way we consume information or give information to others, those are going to be very important facts. And you should see this as one of the key things which is the starting point in your life and in your career. As Fiona said, that this will prepare you for jobs, this will prepare you for work. It may be boring or not interesting at this point of time, but understand that this is shaping your future today with the beginning that you have taken, and then it will just take you on and onward from there. So once again, congratulations to everyone who is a winner in this room, and I wish you all the very best. The 18 people who will be selected today and the 6 fortunate ones who will get to go to Disneyland. And then the rest of you, you are winners, and think of this as your first step, and then take the steps forward so that you become the talent that we need tomorrow for our world to survive and for our world to continue innovating and becoming more modern and a better place to live. Thank you very much.